I'm sorry. I'm playing Mario Kart. Sorry about that. So we're actually talking about an autonomous car or an autonomous vehicle, which is not what Mario Kart is about. It's about actively controlling a car, which is not what autonomous cars are. So, what exactly is an autonomous car? Unlike Mario Kart. Autonomous car is a vehicle capable of sensing its environment and operating without any human involvement, unlike Mario Kart, of course. So, a human passenger is basically just not required to actually take control of the vehicle, unlike in Mario Kart, where you actually have to control the vehicle entirely. So that's the big difference. It's like anywhere between the human driver experience and not having to do anything at all, making you not a driver or of a passenger. So autonomous cars are like the next wave of big technology when it comes to any self-driving car. Unlike right now, you have some like Tesla where it can take over, but only temporarily. And there comes the levels of different cars, or a different level of autonomy. You have 0 to 5 in some, and then you have 1 to 5 in other standard measurements. So in June, so here's the thing. In June, the UN announced an agreement between more than 50 countries to standardize the way vehicles of this sort, autonomous cars, will ultimately be regulated. Now, and that was June this year, so June 2020. Among the requirements of that is actually a black box. So if you know anything about flying or planes, they have black boxes because a lot of those systems nowadays are actually automatic, which is why they have black box. Just in case something goes wrong, there's a black box that we can tap into to see what actually happened. But yeah, among the requirements is that black box and fitted to every single video or vehicle, and an automated lane keeping system. So basically, they have to stay in the set lanes, and everything of this will be regulated within those 50 countries. Hopefully, more will actually get involved, so that we get these automatic cars. Because I just actually drove 12 and a half hours from Florida. I could have really used an automatic car because I wouldn't have had to done nearly as much. I could have taken a nap. But anyway, this actually paved the way for that lane keeping system. Actually paved the way for level 3, which is automation, in which the driver is required to be available to drive at safety critical junctions. So basically, if there's like a mass amount of traffic, that's the difference between 1, 2, and 3, is the level of automation. The further you get up, the more you don't have to do jack. This is so when after you pass that safety critical junction where you don't actually have to be present, more or less, or cognitively present, you go into the fully autonomy on the road, and that's level 4. And then above level 4 is, of course, level 5. You don't have to participate in anything. Fully autonomous and don't even have to manually control, even have manual controls. There's none available unless something goes wrong. I'm pretty sure if you watch like iRobot, you see that the manual controls can be activated, and I feel like that's where we're going eventually. Manual only if requested, basically, or if the certain specifications are met. So basically, like if something's going wrong, it can basically sense that and be like, here, take control. So in Japan specifically, Japan is actually a country, or one of the countries, that's on the cutting edge of this particular technology, meaning autonomous vehicles. And much of the trial work for a lot of the countries, like I said in many videos before, Japan is basically trying to help the rest of the world move forward because it's being not a guinea pig, but the developer of a lot of the technology, and also experimenting it with their technology because they are already so advanced. But much of the trial work that I'm talking about will be taking place in city centers, the big cities like Tokyo, Kyoto. No, Kyoto's in a different country. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of that work is going to be taking place in Tokyo and in different projects throughout the like the Gunma prefecture. Um, but doing this will allow for a lot of data that can be gathered quickly, but also more remote towns will also probably play a part just to get a variety of data centers. But in the Gunma prefecture, like I said, the town of Naganohara is set to actually make its ambitious bus service and make an ambitious bus service partially driverless. So there will be, it's still around the level 3, level 4. We're getting close, but we're not there just yet. Still a lot of testing needs to be involved because you're dealing with human lives. But the project will roll out over 5 years, so it'll be like slowly progressing down the line. That's how we're getting all this data really, really fast because it's integrated throughout the years. And then there's also a similar program is being rolled out in Hanabe Airport, where an autonomous bus service is being tested for passengers. So they get on the bus and then they are taken to their flight area or off the flight. And I don't know if you've been to the airport, but those hallways can be really long and take forever to get to. So I welcome this autonomy, and I would love it to be more adapted in American culture. So slowly but surely, that's what it's getting down to. And then in the time scale though for driverless cars though is getting smaller and smaller by the minute. And then but in the public, or that's what public is supposing. But a host of manufacturers claim that to have level 4 driverless cars in the pipeline, ready for delivery, they're thinking it'll be it could be unless it's barring a global catastrophe, it should be early 2020. So come 2024, 2025, maybe. That's halfway point, but hey, maybe around that time we'll start seeing a lot more of these driverless cars on the road, depending on the current global pandemic. But that's what they're really hoping. So within the next decade, we'll be seeing a lot more autonomous vehicles. Tesla, hurry up. But yeah, and these unprecedented tests are only possible. Guess what? By something we already talked about, 5G. And that's because these towers are going to be able to allow mass transit, like self-driving taxis, which are actually being implemented in Tokyo here in the next month, I think. So they're trying to, and I think that's done by actually Sompo Japan Insurance, KDDI Corporation. And that'll be a tier 4 taxi service. So we're really moving in terms of that in Tokyo, and I love them for it. But one of the main corporations behind it is actually Toyota Motor Corporation. Their taxi model that I was talking about should be like fully running, such taxis fully running, not in that test zone, and in practical use by 2022. So that's a big startup based in Nagayo. And then one of the main places, and I actually I would recommend looking up Tokyo. I think it's Tokyo 2020, which is major tech. What's it called? Big tech convention in Tokyo, and they have everything from robots, robot mascots, but it's primarily looking at autonomous vehicles, robots, and AI in cars, like the Toyota Mira, which actually is the word for future. Mira is the word for future in Japan. And it's actually a self-driving electric and water car. It runs on electricity and water, and it's fully autonomous. Or they say so. That's really cool, and yeah, no, I thank Tokyo, I thank Japan for really moving forward with this. I really hope that Elon and Japan really kind of like mix together so they can make this like amazing Tesla Japan hybrid car, and that'd be awesome. But yeah, so that's autonomous cars. That's the technology that's coming out of Japan, and all the businesses that are using it to make the next level of transportation. I thank them, and I can't wait to see more. But I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to pick up Mario Kart again and drive these little carts all around. So I'll talk to you guys later.